everybody, and welcome to your week 2 of your Pilates program. Okay, so we're going to start off today by reinforcing their core engagement, getting pelvic floor nice and strong. So here we go. We can start off on the mat. We're just going to gently bring our back down onto the mat. You're going to get nice and comfortable. Back is in a neutral position. Slight arch in the lower back. That's completely normal. 2 hands down on the mat. Heads in contact, shoulders are lengthening. Coming in contact with the mat. Trying to leave them fall down as low as you can down towards the mat. Hands are down flat. Knees are in a bent position. Okay, we're going to take our time. Just introducing some slow breaths as you breathe in. You're filling out your lungs. You're opening up your ribs. And slowly, as you breathe out, you're slowly bringing those ribs back in. As you breathe out, concentrate here on engaging pelvic floor. So when I say that, you want to imagine that these side muscles here, you're going to wrap these around. You're trying to pull them in towards the center, and you're also trying to pull up those pelvic floor muscles as high as you can up towards your ribs. It takes a bit of time to get used to the proper engagement of the pelvic floor and core. It's something you can practice throughout the day. Two more. Very good. You should feel that engagement already. And that stomach, those stomach muscles. So from here, we're going to bring our hands back down onto the mat. We're going to start with some leg lifts. As you're lifting each leg, you're engaging your core. You're pulling it across those transverse abdominals. You're pulling up your pelvic floor. Slowly lifting leg up to where it's comfortable for you. To make it harder, we can bring our leg to straight. Only if that's comfortable for you. Two more. And relax. We're going to switch over the opposite side. Weight is shifting to this side of the body. Start with knees bent. We're going to go for 8 of these. Obviously, as you reach further with your toes, put in more pressure here. So only reach as far as comfortable for you, okay? Higher you come, harder it gets. 2 more. We're going to go straight into our straight leg. Make sure that back is nice and strong through the floor. lower you bring down the leg, the harder it gets. It just calls for more engagement. One more. And back down to mat. Really good. Take a second to feel the connection with the mat. Leave the shoulders fall down. Neck is in a neutral position. And back to the breathing. Three breaths. So this time we're going to bring in an advance. We're going to tap with each toe each time. This is only if you feel comfortable. So we're tapping. Strong core engagement. Back is nice and strong. Concentrate on that big rib engagement, rib opening, and pelvic floor engagement. We're going to go for more. 4, and slowly bring your legs back down to the mat. And breathe. Well done. Shake out the legs if they're starting to. So for our next part, if you have a cushion or a ball at home, we can grab it. We can come back down onto your mat. We're going to start by putting our cushion in between our legs, our knees, and we're slowly going to start with some squeezes, okay? So 2 hands are down on the mat. Back is nice and strong, slight arch in the lower back. That's completely normal. So with each breath in, as you draw your breath out, you're going to gently squeeze the cushion or the ball for 5 seconds, keeping that core engaged, and release. And release. As you're squeezing, you're engaging here, pulling across the tummy and up. Try not to dome the tummy, so when I say dome, don't leave, as you're engaging it, don't leave it raised up here in a dome. That's not what you're looking for. You're trying to pull it in as tight as you can back towards your back. One more. Very good, and relax. So for our next movement, we're slowly going to bring our legs up to tabletop while keeping our ball or our cushion in between the knees. From here we're going to go into some hundreds, okay? So you're keeping your cushion squeezed, core is engaged. You're slowly going to lift shoulders off the ground, and you're going to pulse, 2 hands going at the same time. So as you pulse, you're doing quick breaths out. Keeping squeezed. Three more. And slowly bringing feet down to your mat and relaxing back down. So following here, we're going to bring our knees back up, cushion or ball is squeezed. From here we're slowly going to bring our hands, as we're lifting our hands, we're engaging the core, we're pulling up the pelvic floor. Hands go to where it's comfortable for you. There's no arch in your lower back, and where your core allows you to go. Hands come back down to mat. Keeping strong through the cushion or the wall. Reaching up, opening up those shoulders. We're going to go for more. And 4. Releasing your cushion. You can bring your legs back down to the mat. Slightly twisting some pelvic tilts. Just so releasing those hips. Back and forward. We've done these in your first video. So following that, we're going to do a more advanced movement. This time, you're trying to bring your toes as high as you can. Cushion is still squeezed. We're going to do some hand reaches back. Obviously, this is more advanced than your first one. Squeezing. And last one. Slowly releasing your cushion back down to your mat. So from here we can drop down our cushion and we're going to come over onto our side. So we can come over onto our side, so we can come onto our elbow here. From here, 2 knees are going to start by pushing out slightly in front of your body. 2 feet are together. You can put hand on hip. Straight back, we're slowly going to start by lifting 1 knee up towards the ceiling. 2 feet stay clammed together at the bottom. No movement in the hip, so you're not moving back as you open up, okay? So only go where your range allows you. Strong core as you lift. So as you're lifting up, you're engaging your core, breathing out as you lift up. You should feel a little long here. Two more. and relax. So from here, we're going to straighten out our legs, keeping them slightly in front of the body. We're going to lift up our top leg, and we're slowly going to pulse. Straight leg. To support, if you're feeling uneasy, you can bend that knee closest to the floor, and you're slowly going to pulse. As you're pulsing forward, you're engaging core, 2, 1, and bending. So from here, knees are at a slight bend, toes are out in front still, and what we're going to do, we're lifting up knee and hip. So you're keeping your knee at a slight bend. Two more. As you're lifting, you're engaging in, and slowly release back down. For our last one, we can go our straight legs. From here, we're going to do our straight leg lifts. Toes pointed as you're lifting. You're engaging. Two more. And slowly bringing back down to the mat. So from here, we're going to bend up, and we're going to switch over to the opposite side. So we're onto our elbow here. Our knees are at a slight bend. Knees are out in front. 2 feet are clamped together. We're going to go with our knee lifts. Hands on our hips. Engaging your side oblique. Drawing up as you lift that knee up. And last one. Very good. So from here, we're going to bring our 2 legs out in front slightly. 2 feet are staying together. And off we go with our knee lifts. So try not to move that hip backwards as you're going up, okay? These are slow and controlled. Last one. Very good. So you can bend down your knee here. Keeping your leg closest to the mat at a slight bend. We're going to bring our toe out in front, and we're going to go for our pulses. 4, 5. Last 10. So pulsing forward, really good. So for our last one, So for our last one, we're going with our leg lifts. As you're drawing out that breath, you're drawing up your pelvic floor. Last one. And release back down. Really good. We can come back down onto our back. Slowly coming down, grabbing our cushion again. In between our knees. And from here we're lifting our toes up. And we're coming up for 100. Last 5. And release back down. So we can drop down our cushion again. And from here we're going to leave our knees in tabletop position. 2 hands are placed onto the knees and we're going to do some pushes. So with this you want to keep your back in a neutral position. Okay, it's strong on the mat. 2 hands are placed on the knees. As you breathe out, you're engaging your core, pulling up that pelvic floor muscle. Wrapping your 2 transverse as tight as you can around in towards your belly button. And you slowly putting pressure on the knee while putting resistance back onto the hands. Pushing for 5 seconds and release. You should feel your body start to shake. Make sure that you're keeping that strong connection to the powerhouse. And slowly, gently bringing the legs back. So from here we can roll forward and coming up into a seated position. So we're bringing our 2 legs out in front of us, straight as you can. If you have to, put a slight bend in the knees. Right hand is placed on the inside of the right knee. You're putting pressure down toward against the knee while pulling resistance back from the knee. This hand is slowly rotating. You're reaching as far as you can backwards with the hand, the head follows. This should open up this chest area. And opposite side. And we go 2 more. Really good. So we can come onto our mat. Hands and feet stacked underneath, hands stacked underneath your shoulders, knees stacked underneath your hips. You're slowly going to drop the hips down towards the floor while reaching the hands forward. Head comes down onto your mat. Slowly coming back up and slowly dropping down to mat. 2 hands are placed beside the chest on the mat. 2 feet are on together. You're slowly going to raise your hand up as high as you can and hold. Gently releasing back down. 2 hands can come straight back onto your mat. Head is on. If you need support from a cushion, that's fine. Or taking the pressure off your chest, we can put your cushion here. From here, you're slowly going to push those shoulders up as high as you can towards the roof and hold. Core is engaged here still. Slowly releasing back down. Let the shoulders fall down towards the mat. Stretching out. For one more, 2 hands up, nice and straight. Shoulders are reaching up towards the ceiling. And back down. So from here we can come up onto tabletop and slowly sitting back down to your mat. And that's it for today. Really good. I hope you enjoyed and see you on next.